We got off of that awful cruise ship, that den of debauchery, and secured a shit ton of funding for our department in the process, because that's what we were promised if we killed these rich assholes to make an example of them.
So now we're finally going somewhere nice, right?
Yeah,
right?
You like skiing? How about hot tubs in the Alpines?
That just sounds like a scene from a slasher movie waiting to happen.
You're right, because we're the slasher. Alright. We got our loadout, our weapons, our implants. Let's see what we gotta do.
Oh, this is kind of a weird one. Okay.
Weird in the sense that we're doing 2 jobs at once. Okay. Don't see how that's any different from doing 1 job where we kill 5 people. Oh, that's why.
Oh.
I should also mention that, like, it's funny, we went through the Dark World level, and, like, we made jokes about John Oliver II, and, like, kind of thought about it after the fact that, like, the name sounds so posh enough in a way that, like, Kallio probably did not think explicitly of the John Oliver when basing that character on, like, that name. But Daniel Mullins, at least from what I have been led to believe, like, is named specifically because it's based on, like, the name of, like, an actual indie developer.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is a very familiar sounding name, and I do not know the context.
Yeah, I do not know the context, and whether or not this is supposed to imply that the real Daniel Mullins might be a piece of shit. I don't know. I don't know what games he's made. I'm sure people in the thread or in the comments can look it up for us. Hell, we'll probably look it up after we're done recording this.
Yeah, more than likely.
But anyway, we got a brand new weapon for this, and it is a very unique one.
Yeah, I genuinely do not know what the hell that is, because it looked kind of like a flamethrower when you had it on the ground.
You guessed correct.
Oh, shit!
And it's some of the most painful, fucked up screams I have ever heard in a video game.
Yeah, do they need to sound like terrified chimps? Or is that just purely there to make everyone uncomfortable?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, this was like a complex mission for me to route. Because, like, yeah, I brought in, obviously, the DNA Scrambler and the rocket launcher. 2 weapons that are very low on ammo, like, that they can hold at the start. And so, naturally, that meant I need the ammunition gland. So, no fancy Grapendic swinging for us today. We're taking things a lot slower. But also, like, the flamethrower is unique in that this is the only level that it's found in, and no other enemies hold, like, the flamethrower. So, you would basically get 250 rounds and that's it. And even with the ammunition gland, for whatever reason, this weapon just, like, takes a long-ass time to like, refill its ammo automatically. Like, the rocket launcher and the DNA Scrambler refill so much faster. Probably because they do hold so little rounds.
I feel like, from when I was screwing around with the game, I feel like it's based on, like, a percentage of the ammo in that it can hold maximum. So for weapons that have like 6 shots, it ticks up quite quickly. But for anything with like 250 rounds, it takes forever.
Yeah, that would add up. Because I've had similar things happen with like the big heavy machine gun. Yeah. The one that fires depleted uranium rounds.
Yeah. I mean, some of the guns in this game have, 200-300 rounds magazines?
Yeah, pretty much. So at least here's one way we can get up onto the roof without needing to grapple our way up there. But we're still gonna, like, scout out as much of the insides as possible. As well as get some barbecue ready.
Again, it just sounds like a horrible slaughter at the zoo.
Yeah, kinda. But as I was about to say, we do not need to be a horribly mutated, like, biological cannibal in order to consume human flesh for health.
But
if you remember back in Paradise with the old barbecue grill. The flames from this produces the exact same effects as whenever you left the jibs on top of the grill. Immersive Sims, baby.
Immersive Sims, now with 3,000% more cannibalism.
Yum.
Actually, maybe, I don't know, does it count as cannibalism when barely anything in this game looks human? Including yourself?
Yeah. First target. One of the execs that was supposed to come here for, like, a company retreat, but it's just, like... That, like, was supposed to be also talking about business, but the rest of the execs, I think, are just, they care more about relaxing instead of doing actual work, and this guy is just, like, irrationally upset at the idea. Now for one of the more interesting ways of getting to each of the rooms where, like, these three execs are hanging out. There's a catacombs part of this Alpine Lodge, a business retreat. And as you can guess by the noises, there are zombies down here.
Does this count as a sewer level?
I don't see any toxic water, so no.
Not yet, at least.
And yeah, you can also burn the globs of David Cronenberg, like, monstrosities. And, like, they'll explode into, like, jibs. Although I don't think the jibs themselves are cooked.
No.
Yeah.
And it just seems to be giving you plenty of torsos, which is kind of worrying.
Yeah. Also, there's a psyker down here. Also a Dark World soldier. Who's just, like, a regular soldier that's, like, whose texture is just completely black.
Oh, thankfully, the walls are a nice, cheerful red now.
Yeah. And, like, we're clearing these tunnels out of all the undesirables, so if anyone, like... So I guess, like, if future owners of this place, because we're killing the current one, wants to, I don't know, have an easy way to set up, like, new room and board. I mean, you got this right here.
I mean, people have charged more for smaller rooms.
That is very true.
You've got a whole warren down here to play with.
Mm-hmm. Also, weirdly enough, just reminds me of, like, whenever you get to, like, the attic of, like, the Delfino Hotel in Super Mario Sunshine. Just because it's, like, this kind of similar maze, but you don't have the top-down perspective when going through it.
Right, and see, I was afraid you were going to say, you know, because of all the meat monstrosities, and I was like, what the fuck Mario games have you been playing?
I don't know, some of the enemies in Sunshine do look like monstrosities compared to even regular Mario enemies. Hey, buddy.
Just two businessmen in a hot tub.
Good thing there's no women here, you know, for avoiding any lawsuits or implications or just anything, really.
Just two bros chilling in a hot tub.
Let me warm that up for you. The water felt a bit lukewarm. Oh, God.
Soup.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically, like, if you did not... Like, even though I brought a rocket, I could have used it to blow open the door that led to all of these guys' rooms. But this means you basically have, like, 3 non-wall hack related ways that you can get to the targets in this first building. You know, you can either blow open the doors and charge in. You can come in through, like, the vents that connect the catacombs, or if you have the Krependix, you can be a cool action guy and, like, rappel off the side of the roof and just breach the window. Which, that last one, I should add, is my favorite way to kill these guys.
Swampy.
Yeah, and there's a zombie in the in the bathtub, the hot tub. So, this guy's offering us money. I guess we could maybe let this slide, possibly. Luckily, I have just the tool to deal with it. Tools, rather.
Stew.
Also, never step into that particular hot tub because the water is toxic. I did. I did deal with it.
Taking care of.
God damn it. Who cares? I'm hungry. but not right now. That I don't feel like eating it off the floor. This is the swamp suite after all.
5-second rule, dude.
Alright. Now this last event, it leads into like another room that does not have a target of any kind, but I mean like there's still like more NPCs or whatnot if you feel like being sadistic.
I mean, it's called Cruelty Squad, not very nice squad.
Ooh, that dude had like a bad run-in with the flesh rats apparently. Which I'm glad as he is that there are no flesh rats in this level. I forgot to also mention, I guess, like a specific detail about the flesh rats lore-wise. There was like, I think it's in Mall Madness specifically, where like you talk to an NPC and they talk about the flesh rat problem and that apparently a biochem company accidentally made them. Mm. You might remember like a certain pharmaceutical company where we went into a room that had those fuckers in little glass cases. Yes, pharmacokinetics created the flesh rats. It is all their fault.
Ah, great. So we've got Wailing Yutani as well in this fucking game.
I mean, this is a biopunk capitalistic nightmare. Why wouldn't there be?
Fair, I guess.
Time to funnel in all the enemies into the barbecue. And shoot any that still manage to stand for, like, even an extra second or two.
See, I thought that was going to be a grenade launcher.
Yeah, no, it's more like just a weird, like, assault rifle or something that, like, the shock troopers wear. Which are those, like, weird, like, red, shiny ball armored enemies. They are very tough to deal with, but they are still vulnerable to headshots. But you have to aim very specifically, like, at the slit in their mask, which is, like, where you can see their eyes, because they're armored everywhere except that spot.
Well, that seems like an oversight.
Kinda, but I consider it a blessing, and, like, makes them more manageable than, say, the golems. Who we will see a whole lot of as the game goes on, because the game's idea of, like, increasing difficulty is to go, what if we gave you more enemies that had armor? Which means you have to bring explosives with you.
What if we just made your life more difficult?
Yeah, bring explosives or the heavy machine gun, because it dumps enough depleted uranium rounds that it can usually down a golem or a necromag before either of them can, like, do anything to you. Okay, now you deserve to die for that. How dare you deny people a good water slide?
Like, war crime.
Exactly.
I feel so much better now. Headshot.
Now I'm hungry. Gotta wait for the fire to go out, though, because you can catch on fire and it will rapidly drain your health if it happens.
Didn't get these organs, though, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. Like, I appreciate that detail is consistent. Just anything that is, like, fire-related or is designed to, like, produce heat will cook, like, raw flesh into something that's, like, edible.
You say edible, I say edible-esque.
Yeah. Also, that ledge that you saw outside that walkway, like, that leads back to where we got the flamethrower. So if you did not have a means to, like, jump back up top here, I have no idea why. Oh, yeah, just dudes walking off the ledge because they're freaked out.
I can't say I blame them, to be perfectly honest.
I still need to get up here, though, with some rocket jumping. Yeah, that's, like, on top of all the stuff that I had to bring with me, like the vertical entry device, which increases my jump height, and, like, the ammunition gland, I do as well have the ballista vest, which, when combined with rockets or any other explosives, lets you basically Quake 1 rocket jump. It's funny, too, because it's like, like, we've seen videos of Cruelty Squad, not like a proper LP like this one is doing, but stuff that's like either speedruns or possibly even stuff that was recorded when the game was still in early access.
Yeah,
I remember seeing like early access speedrun videos of these levels that made heavy use of the ballistic vest and rocket launcher, because the Grapendix, I think, was not in the game yet at that point. And this, along with the speed upgrade that reduces your armor like by 100%. Like, that was basically the way it seemed to be that you could, like, get the S rank times on levels.
Yeah, there was a lot of gimmick runs.
Yeah, it's very interesting realizing that used to be, like, I guess the go-to equipment strat before people were like, nah, man, you have the biothruster, you have the Grapendix, you got all this other gross high-speed shit that you can use.
Shit, bro, let's be Spider-Man.
Pretty much. Yeah. And, like, that's a big reason why, as far as grappling hooks in general, why I'm all like, this is my new favorite grappling hook. As fantastic as the meat hook is, it also proves to a point that, like, it's as amazing as it is because it is very specific to Doom Eternal's priorities. There's, like, a lot of applications for the Grapendix where you're like, I could see this being, like, an immediate improvement in dozens of other games, you know? Because it's like, it's a grappling hook, it's like a Spider-Man swing, it's a rappel line, it's a bungee cord. It's whatever you want it to be. It's just real hard to use, which is probably why most other games don't do it, because the gratification of using it is not instant. You gotta work for it.
Yeah, I mean, this has one of the hardest kind of grappling hook style items to use in any game I've ever played.
Yeah. It's like the difference between... Like, you know how, like, in the wake of, like, Attack on Titan, like, the anime blowing up at a big deal, and there were, like, people trying to make their own fan games of, like, trying to translate their omnidirectional movement gear into a game.
Oh, yeah.
And then Koei Tecmo did an Attack on Titan game that, like, simplified the whole thing tremendously, but was still fun. I don't even like Attack on Titan, but I played that fucking game just ignoring all the plot and characters because I was like, this is literally a cool gameplay mechanic.
Oh, same.
It is wasted. It is wasted on this weird overhyped thing.
Attack on Titan bores the hell out of me, but the movement in that game is so satisfying, it's not even funny.
Yeah, it for sure. And, like, just the Grapendix feels more like the realistic attempt at trying to, like, give you that level of control. You'll be frustrated initially, but then you'll learn, like the timing and tricks to pull off certain maneuvers. And then it's like you just clown on everything. It feels so good.